So this exercise is called a plank, and what you're going to do is you're going to line up with your fists on the ground, your elbows on the ground, and your toes on the ground, and your hips down. And the way you're all the way in the ground. And the way you're going to start this is by flexing your ankles, and you're going to squeeze your abs and your glutes to lift your hips up off the ground, so you're nice and flat like a tabletop. Squeezing your shoulders back like you're holding a walnut here, and your chin nice and neutral like you're holding an apple. So everything is nice and flat. You should not feel your lower back on this one. What you should be feeling here is your abs and your glutes. Everything holding it nice and still. And you also want to make sure that your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. The goal for this exercise is time. You want to hold it as long as you can with good form. Okay, this exercise is called the side plank, and what you're going to do is you're going to line up with your elbow right underneath your shoulder, your hand out flat, make a nice strong fist, and this stays nice and firm. What you're going to do is your legs are totally flat, and you're going to lift your hips up right here to the side, squeezing your core, keeping yourself nice and stable and flat. And this is a side plank. This one is all about time, how long you can hold this with good form, keeping everything squeezed back. Good, tall, your hips up. And you'll see right here in this position, you also want to make sure that you're breathing. You should not feel your lower back on this. You should just feel your body really kind of burning and stabilizing. Okay, rest. Okay, this exercise here is called a moving plank. What you're going to do is you're going to line up with your elbows underneath your shoulders, fists down, legs flat in push-up position. You're going to bring your hips up to the ground. Chin is nice and neutral like it's holding an apple. Shoulders are back like it's holding a walnut. And what you're going to do is you're going to push up, and you're going to switch from your hands to where your elbows are. You're going to push up, 1, 2, and then back down. This is a moving plank. You're pushing up, hands under your shoulders, and back down. Keep your abs nice and tight. Squeeze your glutes. You should not feel your lower back on this exercise. And you're constantly switching between your hands going where your elbows were. Excellent, and rest. Okay, this exercise here is called a reverse crunch. What you're going to do is you're going to put your hands by your sides, kind of underneath your glutes, form a little triangle underneath. Head stays down on the ground, shoulders stay back, legs go up in the air, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring your hips up off the ground, letting each vertebrae of the spine come down on the way down, nice and slow. Hands stay planted, control it to there, and then right back up. Nice and slow down, extend your legs all the way out, and push all the way up. Round that back, down nice and slow. Let each vertebrae touch and come back. Head stays neutral, look straight ahead. Head down. Good, come back up, and down nice and slow. Keep the head on the ground the whole time you do these. Push up, and control down. So this is all for that core. This exercise is called a bicycle crunch. What you're going to do is you're going to line up with your hands behind your head, lock your fingers in, but don't pull on your neck. You're going to use your abs to pull yourself up. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your opposite elbow to your opposite knee. You're going to bring them together, control back down, and then all the way down, and then switch. Opposite elbow, back down to your opposite knee. Your back stays nice and flat. You squeeze your abs on the way up, come all the way back down, and switch back out. And you want to kick your legs out like you're riding a bicycle. There you go. You come back down to neutral in between each one, and then all the way down. This one's not about speed. This one's all about control and squeezing those abs all the way down in between each one. Good. Control down and bring it right back up, squeezing those abs. This exercise is called an oblique crunch. And what you're going to do is you're going to line up with your feet hip width apart, flat on your back, hands behind your head, and lock your fingers together. And you're not going to pull on your neck on these. You're going to use your abs to pull yourself up. The first thing I want you to do is put your right heel where your left knee is. Right heel where your left knee is. You're going to cross this over. And what you're going to do for the oblique is you're going to bring your left elbow towards your opposite knee. You're going to squeeze up and then control it down. Good. Control up, squeeze, blow all the air out, squeeze your abs, and then control it down. After you finish the desired amount of repetitions, what you're going to do is you're going to stop, switch feet, bring your feet a little closer to your glutes, and then you're going to bring this opposite elbow towards that opposite knee. Control it down, blow all your air out, squeeze up at the top, and control down. Okay, this exercise is called a mountain climber. What you're going to do is you're going to line up in push-up position with your shoulders right above your hands, feet hip width apart, shoulders back like you're squeezing a walnut, chin neutral like you're holding an apple. You're going to now from here put 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. The knee stays off the ground, and then when you start, you're going to jump and switch your feet. So one goes forward, one goes back. Your head stays down the whole time, and it's like you're climbing a mountain. You're jumping from one to the next. This is a great one to get that heart rate going. Excellent. Jumping and switching. Make sure you breathe, you don't hold your breath, and you'll be good to go. Okay, this exercise right here, it's a yoga stretch called a child pose. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna line up on your knees and you're gonna sit back on your heels. And then what you're gonna do is kind of reach your arms all the way out in front of you. Letting your head relax. Everything here stays relaxed. Hands flat on the ground. And it's kind of like your body is cut in half. This half is pulling this way. This half is pushing itself down towards your heels. And what you want to focus on is relaxing, stretching these lats out, breathing, and just kind of holding this to get a nice stretch. Okay, this next stretch here is called downward dog. And what you're going to do is you're going to plant your hands on the ground. And you're going to push up onto your toes. And you're going to bring your hips up in the air, back nice and flat, reach. You want to think nice, long and tall. And you want to try to bring your heels back towards the ground. And focus on breathing. Okay, this next stretch here is called the tree pose. And what you're going to do is you're going to line up. You're going to bring your foot in towards your thigh. If you can't go as high as your thigh, you can bring it down. And why don't you show them here, bring it down more on your calf. Perfect. Bring it back up to your thigh to demonstrate if you got the range of motion. And on all of these, you want to think nice and tall. So you're holding it, a lot of balance involved. Holding your hands to your sides, your shoulders are back, everything's tall, chin's nice and neutral. And you want to focus just on breathing, relaxing and holding that stretch, opening up that hip. Good. Remember, you want to hold these stretches 30 seconds to a minute until you get everything nice and relaxed and let those muscles lengthen. This stretch right here is called a sun salutation, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold your arms up, you're going to reach up and then everything back, holding that stretch. Good. Nice and neutral. Focus on the breath, focus on holding that stretch nice and static. You don't want to move on any of these stretches, you just want to hold them nice and tall. Good, reaching everything back. This pose right here is called the Warrior Two, and what you're going to do is you're going to lunge out to the side, keep this foot straight, this foot goes pointed this way, your knee tracks over your toes, rib cage tall, arms out, shoulders back. You're just going to hold the stretch. You're just opening up this hip right here, so you're focusing on big stretch right here. You're going to bend this knee down, this knee tracks over the toes, body keeps nice and tall. You're just going to hold this pose really, really strong. This is a real powerful pose. Reaching those arms out to your sides. Good. You want to hold these stretches for 30 seconds to a minute. Just focus on nice relax and make sure you're constantly breathing to open up all those muscles.